Today we're going to compare a new form of sanding. Not So Average Builder is sponsored by USAGundamStore.com, bringing the hobby to your front door. Use promo code NOTSOAVERAGE to get 10% off your entire order. Hey guys, Tom here, and this is Not So Average Builder, and I got my hands on the RASER kit. The RASER kit. Whatever. It's by Gunprimer. This is what the box looks like. I'll get more in depth in a minute. But this is a glass file instead of your traditional file or sanding sticks or whatever. And the kit that I got came with the RASER, the balancer, and the recover. Which the recover is just a swatch of denim or denim-like material. And the balancer is a foam sanding sponge. But all three of those combined creates a pretty awesome little kit. Now I'll let you decide at the end of the video on whether it's the price worthwhile new style of sanding or denubbing your kits. Before we get into that though, I want to say if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Love to have you hang around the channel for a bit. Bring quick attention to my Patreon. I currently have two patrons, Chris D and Fiddlesworth Frank. I did just change the tier structure on my Patreon. If you'd like to check that out, it's patreon.com/NotSoAverageBuilder. And there are multiple tiers that you can choose from to help the channel out. But I'm going to not ramble on. I'm going to try and cut these things short, and I'm going to let the video do the talking. So let's jump right in. So we're going to open this thing up, and we're going to see what's in here. So it's a pretty neat little solid box that it comes with. You've got think, make, and enjoy together. And I'm sure that's the same thing in Korean. I'm going to guess that's Korean, I'm not sure. And then you've got the instructions, what each thing does. And they even, which is kind of cool, they want you to use the case for other things, which is a smart move on their part, so I get why they did such a thick case. But in there, you get your RASER, which is your glass file. I don't know if you can tell I've already used it, but it's glass. It's pretty neat. I'm going to do a longevity test later on to see how well this thing does, but you get that. You get the balancer, if it'll come out. I just got to destroy it to get it out. But this side is more coarse. This side is smoother. And then you get the final recover, which is literally, I don't know if you can tell, this is probably like blue jean fabric or something along those lines, but you get two of them. From what I've seen, people have said that you need to use sanding sticks first and then use the RASER. But this is Not So Average Builder, and that's pretty low enough as it is. We're going to see how this does. So it is smooth. Get this thing zoomed in here. It's just discolored. So we'll take the rough side of the balancer. And as you can tell, it's from here to here, it's kind of rough. Take the white side of the balancer. Ooh, I don't bump the camera. And it's smooth. I think that this one was cut too short. Now I've got some really long nubs on the Zaku pauldron. We're going to see. This is where everybody said you need to have a pair of sanding sticks. This is a good test too because it's in a tight area, and it'll kind of give you an idea of how well this thing works being a solid piece. But this is a before, and that is an after. It still kind of leaves a dark mark, so we're going to do a little head-to-head and see which one's faster. Now, I know money-wise, this is an expensive kit, and it would have to be exponentially faster in order for it to warrant the price on this. Don't get me wrong, it is a lot quicker and a lot simpler to use, but these are kind of cheaper. A lot cheaper. I mean, if you go with the hobby brand stuff, it's not, I mean, you're still looking at, even on Amazon, I think these were like 15 bucks for these. It came with these and one other one. So it's really not that less expensive. What, you know, we'll let this do the talking. So I'm going to start off with doing the traditional way. And as soon as I hit start, I'm going to start going. And we're going to work on identical pieces. You can see that they're pretty much identical. Now I am going to go ahead and nip this little extra piece and get it ready. So the one on the left is the RASER. On the right is traditional methods. The RASER doesn't get it as smooth as they say. Maybe it's because I'm just rushing it. I mean, it's still smooth, don't get me wrong, but it's not as smooth as they lead it on to believe. But it is considerably more shiny than my sanding sticks. Now, granted, yes, my sanding sticks are older. They're not that old, but they're older and they've seen some use, so maybe they're just not as good as they used to be. And I would say that this possibly, in the long term, could have the same issue. I don't know, though, because it's a hard material like a file, so I think that maybe it might be worthwhile for a long period of time. There are cheaper files on Amazon. They seem to be not as well made as this, so there was some time taken for this, but this seems to be just a glass sticker with a round, or a glass file with a round sticker on it. I don't really know. But it seems to work really well, and as you can see by the times, it is considerably faster. Again, it may not be $40 faster, but when you take into consideration the cost of like legitimate hobby sanding sticks and your hobby knife, which you'll have anyway, but sanding sticks, they're $15. And if this thing lasts as long as I think it will, be just like a good set of files. Could be potentially a couple of years before this thing has any issues. Now, I did drop it from a good 4-foot height accidentally. It wasn't on purpose. And as you can tell, there are no nicks, no scratches. It held up really well to the fall. It does hold some material. I wonder if maybe... I thought maybe that would pull some of the stuff off. I would assume that... Let's file my fingernail down. But I'd assume that water would do really well, since this is a piece of glass. Would probably file this down, or get the stuff out of the file itself pretty well. If you've got the extra money to spend, absolutely worth it. If you don't have the extra money to spend, stick with your sanding sponges. This is kind of a luxury item. It does make it easier, but again, that's up to you on whether you think that it's $40 worth faster. It's a really good kit, and they do offer just the RASER. I'm pretty sure they offer just the balancer, which this is exactly what everybody said it was. This is pretty much a nail sanding block. This would probably be your medium, or your medium fine, or your fine, and this would be your super fine. You could probably get away cheaper doing this. But the glass file is pretty handy. There are cheaper ones on Amazon, and I will put links in the description below to this kit. I've not found really a good one, and I don't want to put links to the glass files on Amazon just yet because I've not tried them out, so I don't know how well they are. I mean, they're only $7, so you can kind of go try them out. But I will put a link in the description below for this kit through USA Gundam Store, and don't forget that I can get you 10% off. So yes, it's $45. I could save you shipping or tax. It's actually a fun kit. I think you should go out and get one if you're looking for a new way. Again, it is kind of a novelty sanding, but I think that you'll enjoy it. It works really, really well on surfaces. And I'm pretty much got this ready for paint, so I can throw paint on there and have no problems. And remember, don't just be an average builder. Be a not so average one. Try new things. But have a wonderful day, guys. Bye.